Parashat Vayeishev. So prominent in this parasha are the moments of silence of Yaakov. Yosef excitedly gathers his family together. Let me tell you my dream. I can remind you, he's Benjy, he's 17 years old. He wakes up in the morning, he's had this fantastic dream, gathers everybody together, eager to share, and to share with his brothers, already adult men in their 20s, 30s. And what happens? Yaakov shamar et hadavar. Yaakov is silent, and chaos ensues because of his silence. He goes, listen, boys, Yosef's a dreamer, he's got a wild imagination, he's only a kid compared to you, he's not an adult. Why do you pay any attention to him? He chose silence as opposed to doing something. Et ledaber ve'et lachashot. There's a time to speak and a time to be silent. Silence is golden, silence is profound. Sometimes keeping quiet actually is a sign of your intelligence. You know not to interfere. We know that the golam, a thick human being, is someone that interrupts and interferes with conversations. Moron. Don't butt into conversations that you know nothing about. Don't give a perspective on matters that are beyond you. Silence is really important. And we generally approve of keeping quiet. But there are times when silence is inappropriate. I think the Torah presents to us both the conversations of Yaakov, Hakol Kol Yaakov, the voice of Jacob, V'hayadayim Yedei Esav, but he didn't feel like a Yaakov, he felt like an Esav. So we know that the voice of Yaakov, as understood by the rabbis, is the voice of Torah and prayer, spirituality, bringing God into the conversation. That's a powerful aspect of Yaakov's personality, and that's the one we have to follow. But the silences of Yaakov, to be a little bit of a cliche, are deafening. Part of the chaos in his family is that he was silent at the wrong moment. The proximity of Parashat Vayeishev to the festival of Hanukkah is meaningful. Maccabees, they didn't keep silent. 90% of the Jewish world were happy for things to just plot along the way they were going. Hellenism, Greek culture, that's okay, we'll just go with the flow. But that wild 10% that says, no, mi chamocha ba'elim Hashem, Maccabee, who's going to be with me? Mila Hashem Elai, raise your voice. Sometimes we need to raise our voice. Sometimes keeping quiet is inappropriate. It's the wrong thing to do. Yaakov was wrong in this week's parasha. It required the Maccabees to say, no, this is wrong. This violates our fundamental system of belief. This violates the dignity of mankind. This violates the sanctity of Torah. When we keep quiet in a silly attempt to keep the peace, to merge everything together, we don't as much honor other people's value system as we defame our own. As Rabbi Sachs taught famously, the non-Jewish world respects the Jew who respects Judaism. Sometimes respecting Judaism demands that we raise our voice and say something when things are wrong, even if temporarily it causes strife or pushes us into an uncomfortable space. So who knows what world could have been if Yaakov had spoken. We know for sure he was not a happy man on his deathbed, and when he had a chance to speak then when no one was going to interrupt him, when he knew his end was near, he let it out, he let his feelings out, especially revolving his sons that were naughty and didn't do the right thing, but he kept quiet, so he was disappointed. So let's learn to keep our voices loud and clear. In a world of sometimes deafening silence and a cacophony of sound, we must raise those voices, Mila Hashem Elai, and to be sure to know that we would be for Hashem, we would have been on the winning side. Shabbat Shalom.